Hey guys, Janet here at the 4-H office. So today our fun activity is going to make some cinnamon ornaments using a simple ornament recipe that doesn't require any baking at all. What we're going to need for today's project, a nice mixing bowl, some salt. We're going to need approximately a whole cup of flour. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of warm water that we're actually going to pour in here now. Our flour, and then you're going to need 1/2 cup of cinnamon. In addition to that, for today's activity, you're going to need some wax paper for your table to roll out your dough. You'll need some extra flour to flour your rolling pin, which you'll need, and to flour your surface. In addition to that, I've used masking tape to tape it down, and I'm going to need some cookie cutters to make my project. So, to get started, we have our water in. We are going to add our flour, measure out 1/2 cup of our cinnamon to give a nice color and scent to our dough. In addition to that, we're also going to add the 1/2 cup of salt. All right, when you have everything measured out and put in, you're going to get a big spoon and mix it. And what you're going to do is mix until you get a bread dough or a dough consistency. It may be a little sticky, that's okay. We'll add a little bit more flour to it when we are rolling out our dough onto our surface. So once you have everything in, you can mix it with your hands or you can get a big spoon. So with our spoon, we're just going to mix up our dough for our cinnamon ornaments, making sure that we use up all of the water, scraping the sides of the bowl, just like if you were baking. You should be getting some sort of dough formed, just like this. It's coming together quite nice. If you think it's a little bit dry, feel free to add a little bit more water to it as well. So you're going to keep mixing until you get a ball form for your dough, making sure that you mix in all the cinnamon and the flour so it's a consistent color as well. You want all the flour mixed in so you have a nice brown Christmas ornament dough. So I've got almost my ball shape started from mixing. What I'm going to do now is switch over to my hands, to use my hands to mix my dough. Now mine tends to be a little bit stickier right now, so what I'm going to do is just keep mixing, getting a nice ball of dough that I can roll out. You can see I've got most of the flour mixed in really nice so that you have a nice consistent color. And if you smell it, it smells very good. Lots of cinnamon flavor there. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my table. Now I've taped down my parchment paper. Parchment paper is good to use. You shouldn't stick to it. It's also better than doing it on the table because then you don't have to scrape the little piece of the dough off when you're done, and it makes cleanup a lot easier. But I like to tape mine down because I have a tendency to start pulling the pieces of wax paper apart and moving them and not staying on my work surface. So I'm just going to roll this out like I would a cookie dough, making sure I get a nice even shape. You're going to roll out to about 1/4 of an inch. So we're just going to roll. Now, this is a great time to get out your Christmas ornaments. If your dough seems to be a bit sticky, you might want to consider putting a little bit of flour around them to make it cleaner to cut with. So, Christmas ornaments, regular cookie cutters of any size and shape. I have a tractor, a snowman, and a cow that I'll be using today. So I have my dough rolled out to about 1/4 of an inch. We don't want them any thinner because we're going to create ornaments and we're actually going to put holes in them so that we can hang them. So just using my cookie cutter, use as much dough as I can, get right to the edges so I don't have a lot of wasted dough. And just start pulling my ornaments. I'm going to set them here. Once you get your ornaments cut out, it will take about 24 hours for them to dry. You don't have to bake them, just set them and let them dry. While they're drying, what you can do is take some straw pieces, or if you want, a toothpick to create some holes. So I'm just going to take this straw, cut a few pieces off, and then wherever I want to put a hanger, like I'm going to do it right here in the top of the tractor, I'm just going to put the straw down. It actually acts as like a cookie cutter. It cuts a hole right through it, which you can pull out. Or if you want to, you can leave the straw in there. But I have a hole right through my tractor. So I'm just going to go through, cut some ornaments out, let them dry, and within 24 hours you can actually paint these. Acrylic paint will stick to them. So if you wanted to do some decorating, make some fancy ornaments, you can do that as well. Just remember to let them dry on a flat, even surface so they don't curl. Punch my little hole in them. And you have some instant holiday ornaments or decorations for year-round that smell really, really good, especially if you like cinnamon. So I'm just going to pull these last ones out. I'm going to let them dry, and tomorrow I can paint them. So for this activity and more great activities, check out Shenango County 4-H on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, both under Shenango County 4-H. Have a great day.